Hi, I am Danielle Brisk, holistic health coach and transformation coach. I'm so excited today to talk to you about a really important topic that I think is really underserved: nutrition and our breastfeeding journey and beyond. So, how does nutrition, what we eat and take into our body, and do with our body for that matter as well, affect the breast milk that we produce and the health outcomes of our new and growing baby? The facts are clear. Breast milk is by far the perfect food for our babies. Okay. Nature, whatever you want to call it, made no mistake, right? Our bodies are amazing. I'm going to touch on some key topics that you want to consider in the when thinking about your own nutrition and the nutrition that your baby needs, especially when they're so young and growing so fast. Now, of course, I only have time in this short video right now to scratch the surface, really just barely. So if there's any questions or concerns that you have, I really recommend you get in touch with myself or another experienced professional. I am going to be following this up with a free talk that will go more in depth into this subject. So I really recommend, if this interests you or sparks any questions for you, to please sign up and join me for that. Okay, so let's jump in. What are key nutrition ingredients? What are key foods that we want to be consuming in general and thinking about to produce more abundant breast milk, and also to provide optimal nutrition for our babies? And something that's often not considered, to maintain our own health, both while breastfeeding and in the long run. Because after all, doesn't it make sense? Our bodies are producing the breast milk. So that means that it's taking the nutrition from us and giving it to the baby, which is wonderful. That's the design, right? But that means that if we are not replacing the key nutrients that our body needs, then we will become deficient. And unfortunately, the reality is that most of us, because our food system is unfortunately very flawed today, to say the least, right? That most of us are starting from a place of deficiency already, whether we know it or not. So the reality is, paying attention to our nutrition, to what we're consuming, the foods we're eating and not eating, can make a huge difference in our health now and in the future. And what I mean by health, let's just be clear. I mean, overall, whether or not we get sick, how we react to an infection, including something that seems to be contagious. It actually depends more on our internal health and environment than on the outside. Did you know that? It's amazing, but it's true. Our bodies have the amazing ability to fight off illness when we provide it with the nutrition that it needs. Also, it can affect whether or not we have allergies and reactions to things, and whether we develop illnesses long-term or chronic illnesses, autoimmune conditions, and so much more. It can be all influenced by the food we eat, by our diet. So the wonderful part about knowing that is that it puts the control, the power back in our hands. We have the power to affect our own health. You have the power, right? You have the power with the right knowledge, the right tools, guidance, and support. You do not need to do this alone. And in fact, I would not recommend anyone make health changes and dietary changes alone without lots and lots of information and guidance and support. And you have the power as a breastfeeding mom to affect your baby's growing brain and body, which will affect their intelligence, their abilities now and in the future. Their ability to fight off illness and disease, infection, all of that can come from their breast milk, which is, make no mistake about it, the best food and medicine for your baby. Our bodies, again, are amazing. Our breast milk can actually produce medicine that our babies might need if it detects any infection, any illness going on, anything like that. Then the breast milk actually contains some medicine for the baby. Oh my gosh. And responds through their saliva. So our body both gets feedback from the baby as well as they are receiving our breast milk for their nourishment as well. It's an incredible system. So, okay. What nutrition should you look out for and include or not include in your diet to help you on this journey at this time? Well, this is a huge topic and unfortunately very complex and made even more complex these days by so many factors and misinformation that is out there. Let's make it really simple. The more you can eat real, unprocessed food closest to the source and the way that it's made, the better. Does that make sense? And the more that you can eat green, growing food, it doesn't always have to be green, but growing food, i.e. fruits, in other words, fruits and vegetables, the better. And mushrooms too, growing foods that grow from the ground, okay? So that's primary. If we can make fruits, good quality fruits and vegetables and plant matter primary in our daily diets, it can be a game changer for our health, for our ability to fight illness and disease, and also how we feel, our mental clarity, our emotional stability, and a sense of relaxation and calm can all be traced back to minerals, nutrients that are in plants. So that's number one. Number two, another key nutrition that we need to include for optimal health for ourselves and our baby, our breastfeeding baby, are going to be the omega-3 fatty acids. Now, what are them? You've probably heard of these before. What are they really? Well, it is a fat. It is fat. It is a source of natural, naturally occurring fat. So what does that mean? That fat is not only not bad for us, in fact, we need it. It is essential. It is essential, okay? So we do not need to demonize fat, but the quality and type do make a difference. So not all fat is equal, okay? The omega-3s really are what help our brain, our bodies, and our immune system develop at the potential that it can. It plays a key role in the development, again, of our brain and immune system and overall strength of our bodies. So where do we get these omega-3 fatty acids? Well, they're really high in a lot of seafood. Salmon is one of the highest sources of omega-3 fatty acids as far as animal products go. So that's why it's often recommended to consume salmon. Other sources include sea plants. Have you heard of sea moss? That's a great source as well, and it contains tons of other minerals and other vitamins that we also need. So sea plants also provide great omega-3s as well as a ton of other essential nutrients for our body. Also other seeds, flax seeds you might have been heard of or include in your body, chia and hemp seeds and number of other seeds and nuts, also, varying to varying degrees, include omega-3 fatty acids. These are great foods to include in your daily diet. Some meat products as well. And again, the quality does make a difference. So, of course, we need protein. So both from some plants, from some plant sources, and also, by the way, on the omega-3s, avocados and other fatty vegetables are also great source of the omega-3 fatty acids, as well as good protein and other minerals and vitamins that come with plants. So that's a great thing to include in your daily diet. One more key nutrient that I'm going to mention right now, I want you to pay attention to, is vitamin D. Okay, its role in our body and our overall health cannot be understated. It plays a direct role in our immune health, our immune system, and our body's ability to fight off illness. In fact, it has been found that when we have more vitamin D, and I want to be clear, most people are vitamin D deficient. So it's always a good idea to get more, okay? So when we have more vitamin D, then we have the ability to fight off illness and even avoid getting ill in the first place. And it has an even more impact on us for people like myself who actually have or are susceptible for autoimmune conditions. And there's a whole variety of autoimmune conditions. Okay, so excuse me. So vitamin D is essential also for reversing or maintaining our inflammation level. Okay. So where do we get vitamin D? Essentially, it's liquid sunlight. So being outside in the sun is really essential and so healthy for us for a variety of reasons. But the reality is, especially when we have a newborn or baby at home, we're likely not getting enough sunlight, although I recommend it. Being out in the sun is going to be very good for you and your baby. But also look into supplementing with a high quality supplement. There are foods that contain vitamin D, but often it may not be enough as well. So supplementing with vitamin D is something to really take serious, especially in those beginning months when we're not getting outside as much. You're going to be very glad you did. Now, what else is there to talk about? Honestly, so much more. I will touch on one other key thing. And then again, I encourage you, if you have any questions, want to dive deeper into this, just join me at the free talk that I will be giving, or contact me directly so I can address your specific questions. Okay? Another key element to consider is that while in our food system and our grocery stores today, we can find an abundance of sugars and what could be called empty carbohydrates, empty carbs, right? There's so many of them around in all the foods, packaged foods, and so many foods that we see. The reality is they're actually depleting our body of key nutrition. They're doing more harm overall than good in our body. It's an unfortunate reality. So if we are suffering from any kind of aches or pains, illnesses, or what have you, or have some susceptibility to that, it is highly recommended to seriously look at your consumption of sugar and empty carbs, as well as grains, which turn into sugar in our body. Okay. Now, is that going to affect your body's health, your baby's health? Yes, it is. Because if we don't get the nutrition that we need, is our milk supply going to have that key nutrition either? It may or may not, depending on our body's, state of being before giving birth or before having our baby, but most likely it's not going to have the abundance of key minerals and nutrition in the form of micronutrition, the vitamins and minerals that our body and our baby really need to thrive to its fullest. And isn't that what we want? Now, of course, we aren't always able to do everything that we want for ourselves and our baby. So there are supplements that we can take. There are other things that we can make up for it later on. So there's lots of leeway in here, but I'm laying out some of the things to consider. And if you are looking into making changes in your own diet and nutrition quality and in the state of your health, and providing the best start that you can for your baby, because honestly, again, there's so much more to know and discover about the beauty of breast milk and how it nourishes and supports your baby and how you can support yourself in the process, then I really encourage you, reach out for more support and help along the way. You don't have to do this alone. You are worth it. Your baby is worth it. Thank you so much for listening, and I honor you for taking this important journey and this important decision of nurturing your baby with the best food and the best medicine that you can. So I look forward to connecting with you more personally and more deeply. Again, feel free to contact me at Be Well with Danielle on Facebook and Instagram, listed there, or at my Linktree link, which is Danielle Brisk. You can find me all over social media. And again, I am Danielle Brisk, holistic health and transformation coach. So excited to serve you on this amazing journey. Congratulations, and thank you for taking your health and your baby's health so seriously. You are worth it. The power is in your hands, and you are powerful.